Okay, I thought this could be a fun idea for a video. I didn't make any single game videos on Fields, but I figured now that we've seen a full preseason, let's talk about him. He still is a player who we're expecting to see continue to grow and get better. So has he had a better performance than he has maybe in years past? Well, if you look at his Pro Football Focus grades, they haven't been overly impressed, and it's totally worth mentioning the incredibly small sample size we've seen. I mean, if you look at the top of the screen is going to be the 2 games he played. Bottom of the screen is his year in and year out preseason grades. You see that, in his first year, he had 92 snaps. They gave him some playing time there, especially because he wasn't scheduled to be the starter his rookie year. Year 2, 57 snaps, and then this year, they're really just saying, let's keep you healthy until the regular season. So they trust him, which is maybe a good sign that they feel like he doesn't need the reps. But in those 20 snaps, 11 of which were passing plays, he ended up grading very average. Around 60 is where you would think like an average player would be, sort of maybe a lower tier player would be, like, I don't know, the 25th best quarterback might be around like 60. So, not a terrible grade, but nothing great either, and was his worst preseason performance PFF grade wise. But again, PFF themselves say you shouldn't be looking at their grading system when it's just 20 snaps. Maybe a good jumping off point, but let's talk about how he played in the preseason. I'm going to primarily be talking about how he played against the Buffalo Bills, although I do have a Titans play in here as well. Let's start off with that Titans play. It's going to be it's a man coverage play, and it's actually a pretty interesting setup so this is the designed halfback screen. That's what they're trying to do here. However, it's a blitz, and that's kind of a unique situation. Okay, you're trying to get the halfback screen set up. Usually what you do is you kind of try to get your defenders to go towards the quarterback. You let them win if you're an offensive lineman, and then run forward and go find someone else to block. So, an interesting scenario where there's now going to be more pressure on Fields. Because of this, when the ball is snapped, you see that Fields is certainly under pressure, and he can't really get the ball off cleanly the way he wants to because of that added pressure. It's not really anyone doing anything wrong. It's more so just as of right now, this is a potentially good scenario for Tennessee. If they can reach out and make a tackle on Fields, they can get a sack right here and not allow him to get the ball off. But if Fields can get the ball off, there's now less players who can potentially try to make a tackle on the running back. So it's, kind of a unique scenario where it's, definitely swinging for the fences on a fastball here. And let's see what Fields can do to get himself out of this situation and turn it into a positive. As you see, Fields does scramble out a little bit, is able to flip it to the halfback, who manages to get a touchdown on this play, actually. I can't show the whole thing due to copyright reasons, but he was able to run all the way and get a touchdown, which was, good stuff by him. But also, a good job by Fields to be able to turn, what could have potentially been a negative play into a positive one. Heading over to this play, I think this is an interesting one where, people might view this as a negative. I'm not entirely sure I do, and let's talk about why. So it's going to be a man coverage play. You see the receiver he wants to hit on this play. Running a quick, curl route underneath. Okay, simple enough. This is Cole Kmet, the good tight end for Chicago. Fields is going to take the snap. He looks over in that direction, and there's certainly a window to make this throw. So how should Fields make it? Well, he has to get it there quickly for sure. But also watch how he throws it low like that and ends up dropping. It does not get complete on that play, despite Cole Kmet's, pleading that it did. Whether it was actually caught or not, to me, is irrelevant. We're just talking about the throw and the situation itself. And to me, I kind of view this with Fields as a positive play. He put it underneath to where it wasn't going to be dangerous, because if you just throw it up, there's a chance that the defender could more easily knock Kmet's hand away or even knock the ball up, and it could result in a potential interception. That's a dangerous situation, and I think Fields is kind of thinking about these things a little bit. Who knows? I mean, honestly, it's possible it even just got tipped at the line and, that's all that happened. But to me, I'm going to be optimistic here and say that I think it was positive, although you could argue the other way around. Let's go over to this play. This is what we're all here to see. Justin Fields to DJ Moore. This is what we've been talking about all offseason, about why this could be a potentially good Bears offense or even great Bears offense. With the addition of DJ Moore, he is someone who could potentially be an outside receiver. The reality is, this situation, this route, is just not something the Bears have hit on basically since Fields has gotten there. It's a cover one man play, and I think some people have put the blame on Fields. I think most of us have said, while Fields hasn't been a perfect passer, he's also been in a really rough situation and hasn't had a receiver who can win on these types of routes. So the potential of DJ Moore being a guy who can win on these types of routes is exciting, and Fields is going to try it out. Watch how when Fields takes a snap, he does look over and reads the play. He doesn't just throw it up, blindly, but it's not really that open either. It's just kind of like, okay, it's a one-on-one matchup. Let's see what happens. Let me just try to give my receiver a chance. And as you see, when he throws it up, that one had a better chance of getting intercepted than caught. I don't know if you blame. It's kind of a weird play because it's not like he led DJ Moore deep down the field. He basically just tried to, it's kind of a 500 dead or alive type situation. Just throws it up in between both of them and was hoping Moore could box him out. I don't know if that's a chemistry thing. I don't think it's an accurate thing. In fact, I'm sure it isn't. That's just where what Fields decided to do, but maybe Moore wasn't ready for it, or maybe he was and just didn't complete it. But definitely a bit of a bummer if you were looking to just, for a hype train situation. Although going over here, again, if you're a Bears fan, there's things you can get hyped about with Justin Fields, certainly. Something like this, where what's going to happen on this play is, it's again a DJ Moore play, zone coverage, Moore just trying to find a gap in coverage over the middle. As you see, Fields is going to take the snap, runs a play action, eventually fires over to DJ Moore, and look at how open DJ Moore was. So you still saw a little bit of it. You still saw Moore getting open, and that excitement is definitely something that I think that you can see with Bears fans. Not just that, but watch the ability of Moore after the catch to be able to pick up a ton of yards on that point. Finally gets knocked out, but gains a lot, and that, again, could be a real benefit to Justin Fields. It would certainly help his numbers if you have a guy who can pick up an extra 20 yards after the catch like Moore did on that play. And one more play, no pun intended, that I have to talk about is going to be this one where you have, I'm going to highlight an interior defensive lineman for the Bills. This play just shows why it's just so hard to defend against Justin Fields. It just is. Watch how when Fields takes the snap, that defender, he's rushing the passer and trying to get past the guard who he's going up against. Okay, not doing an amazing job or anything, but he's doing what he can right here. But the issue is, if you look in between the guard and the center right now, there is a wide open window for Fields to potentially run through. And not just there, but you look further, up, no one's on the screen right here past that. So for Fields, what do you think he's going to do? As you see, he steps up and basically just takes a free first down on this play. He gets, close to 15 yards on that one. And these are just things he's always capable of doing. And so, that's just so dangerous, where basically as a defense, you have to always be prepared for something like that. It completely changes how you play a quarterback, and because of that, it can make you have to play your secondary, differently. You have to play your coverage differently, meaning that it could be easier to throw the ball down the field, and we could have more situations of DJ Moore getting consistently wide open like we saw in that earlier play. So at the end of the day, Justin Fields, we know what he can do great. Did we see anything in this to make us feel like he has improved as a player? I don't know. To me, it still feels like needs more information, and we're going to figure out more in the regular season. But at the very least, he looked like Justin Fields, which is still pretty good. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.